This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or managing a growing brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website, engaging with audiences and selling anything from products to content to time. All in one place, all on your terms. Let's crack some eggs. Hey Spuds, it's Jamie. Welcome back to another video first on the channel. I don't know, but welcome either way. And today, there is no point beating around the bush. There is no point waffling on. We are reacting to egg in real life. We are reacting to those memes from the just about to crack trans eggs or the newly cracked trans eggs. And just as a quick definition, what I mean by that, or what at least my understanding is, be very awkward if I've misunderstood it this whole time, is when we say egg, we mean like a baby trans, like somebody who's just figuring out their identity. And then when it cracked, it's like, oh my God, it's that moment. So we are here to have a little reaction to the cracking eggs or the newly cracked eggs. Join me on this excellent journey that may be foreshadowing something that is about to come up a little bit later in this video. We do not like when I was a boy. This is a trans femme meme. So for me, it would be when I was a girl. But we do like when I was pretending to be a boy / when I was pretending to be a girl. This is something I see so often, and it's such a subtle difference in language. I completely get and understand why not everybody uses it correctly all the time, and including some trans people, particularly early in transition, but also if they want to use different language, that's their choice. For me, it's definitely like there's no such thing as when I was a girl, because my gender throughout my life has not changed. It's always been boy, man, whatever, you know, that, not girl. So I typically refer to like when I was living as a girl, that kind of thing, when I was presenting in such a way. Pretending is also another word you could use, but for me, I never was a girl, so there was no like, oh, when I used to be. It's like when people used to think I was. Yes, there is a difference. What do you mean wanting a penis isn't cis? That's ever so slightly trans mask of you. Yes, if you are AFAB and yes, would desire a peen, potentially not totally cis. Sorry, these childhood memories turned trans too. I love Inside Out, and I love this meme, and I love this concept, and this is just so clever, and I feel like this can often, but does not always and does not have to, epitomize quite a lot of the trans experience if you figure out when you're a bit older. When I say a bit older, I just mean like out of childhood. And there's so many things looking back that I'm like, well, how trans of me. One in particular, and obviously, again, these are all my personal experiences that lead into my journey and how I'm feeling. You could have a very similar experience and not be trans. I'm not saying you have to, it's just for me, this definitely feeds into maybe I personally should have known, alongside with what's going on in my head, these behaviors as well and these memories. So essentially, I was 6 or 7 years old, and it was my grandparents' 60th wedding anniversary, and everyone was getting really dressed up. It was like a little bit of a fancy event, and my mum was begging me to just wear a dress because she wanted everybody to dress up. You know, she was wearing a dress, my dad was wearing a shirt and some smart trousers, and she was like, come on, please just wear a dress. And I was not having any of it. I didn't want to do that. I was having a little tantrum, and we eventually settled on a long t-shirt. Like, it was a t-shirt dress, but it basically just looked like a long t-shirt. And then as soon as the formal bit was over, I could change into my cargo trousers and rugby top. And that's what I did. The photographic evidence is right here. That's definitely one of the memories that, for me, looking back, oh, it got touched by the transness. Yes. I love this meme. I think this might be one of my favorite trans-related memes I've ever seen. I don't know why. I'm just hard relating. Past me was like, bah, I don't really care about fashion and looking good. I'm just fine with some basic shirts and jeans. Present me is like, oh my God, I love to try out new clothes and styles. I've also found some real joy in taking photos of myself wearing them. Who knows? Maybe I can even be an amateur model in the future. I'm assuming this is like when you had to wear clothes you weren't comfortable with and before you came out as trans, based on the little cartoons. I feel exactly the same. Oh my God. I feel like I'm talking about myself so much. I'm sorry. I'm just relating a lot to a lot of these. I used to really want to enjoy clothes and finding things to wear and fashion. I was always interested in it, but I hated clothes for myself. Anything I bought, I was like, I'm so uncomfortable, bleh. And then as soon as, it wasn't even when I started transitioning, it was just when I was like, I can wear whatever clothes I want. It was when I went to college, and there was a lot of other people just being very open, and we didn't have to wear a school uniform, and we could just choose and wear whatever we wanted every day, which is not typical in the UK for school age. age. It's not until you're like 16 that you get to do that. That I was like, oh my God, I don't need to buy clothes just from this section because society tells me to. I want to go up those stairs and buy clothes from the men's section. As soon as I did that, I unlocked this new comfort and interest in finding my own style, in enjoying finding clothes and enjoying wearing those clothes. So I totally relate to this. Me chilling and being an AFAB NB lesbian. Woohoo! The realization that I'm actually a straight white man. I feel like this can be such a thing where some people figure out they're trans and then realize that this community that they've been part of, if they say they're a trans guy who prior to transitioning identified as a lesbian and is exclusively attracted to women and was very heavily involved in like LGBT plus culture and had a big group of friends who were lesbians and things like that, and then comes out and is like, well, I am a straight man and I go into LGBT plus spaces, which obviously trans people are very welcome to go to. It's different when you're so used to going to them and being involved in them from a perspective of sexual orientation and not being straight, and then you're going and you're straight. It's an interesting thing, and I think there's a lot of times when people are like, oh, I'm a straight man. Yes, that is me, but also I feel like I'm losing part of this community I've been involved in so long. It can both be a joke and then also something that people struggle with quite a bit. For me, I did have a moment of this, and then I was like, no, I am bi. Yeah, I'm not straight. Cis men seeing pretty girls on their feed and wishing they were them. The peak cis, the most cis thing you can do. Yes. Oh, another inside out, a new emotion. Gender envy. Oh, too bad I can't wear it. Oh, no. Not just envy, but gender envy. Yes, there's a lot of gender envy, but then there's also gender dysphoria, which is not great. And then there's also gender euphoria, which is a better one. So yeah, lots of emotions that come with being trans. Lots of things to navigate. Fun times. Oh yeah, I'd love to see the console inside a trans person's head. I want them to make Inside Out, but for a trans person. Like the characters are in the brain of a trans person. That would be cool. And I'm just going to take a break from the eggs for a moment because I am back with a brand new business, spuds. Oh yes. This was actually a business idea that was sent in by one of you. Thank you so much. So if you do want to comment below little jobs that you'd like to see me try out in the future, then go drop a comment. And if you're very confused about what's happening right now, then stick with me and you'll find out. You might remember that my tea business recently had to come to an end because I caused a worldwide shortage of tea. Oops. So I've pivoted away from focusing on the T in LGBT, the trans aspect of my identity, and now I'm going to focus on the other letter of my identity, the B in LGBT. I am absolutely buzzing to announce that I am venturing into the beekeeping and honey making business. Oh yeah, this is my new, very real, not at all made up job. I am not pulling your leg. I'm so sorry. Squarespace has allowed me to make this idea come to life with a beautiful website. Because as you should all know by now, when you make a website with Squarespace, you know it's going to be amazing because Squarespace is full of brilliant features. To get you started, you can make use of Squarespace's new guided design system, Squarespace Blueprint. This allows you to choose from professionally curated layouts and styling options to build your unique online space. Your website will be tailored to your business or website idea and optimized for every device. And once your website is ready, Squarespace's optimized SEO tools will help you get discovered fast and grow the way you want. Let your creativity fly with Squarespace's pre-built layouts, helping you make all the pages you might need with ease, as page elements can be arranged quickly and easily to showcase your content. You can add or remove blocks to create a custom look for specific purposes, including contact, about, blogs, products, and more. Squarespace also has visual design tools that are truly the bee's knees. That one was a little bit on the nose, wasn't it? These tools offer an unrivaled suite of visual design effects, built in and ready to go on any Squarespace website. And another feature that I personally find incredibly useful is connected accounts. Squarespace allows you to connect social and multimedia accounts in a few clicks to increase the footprint of your business. Sharp & I's actual Squarespace website that is genuinely very real was also super easy and fun to make, and something we're really proud of, and is not going anywhere. So whatever your website idea, whether you're looking to build a community, if you're an awesome entrepreneur, or if you want to be a fellow beekeeper, you can turn any idea into a website with Squarespace. To get started yourself, go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com squarespace.com/Jammidodger to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. The link is in the description box, and apologies if my bee puns stung a little bit today. I'm not really sorry. Let's get back to the eggs. Oh, Jesus Christ, I nearly fell off my chair. When someone asks you if you're a boy or a girl, how do you respond? Oh my God, the sweating, such sweat, pure panic, pure fear. If this is pre-realization or pre-coming out, it's very awkward. The amount of times, and I'm not too mad about it, but the amount of times that kids used to ask me if I was a boy or girl when I was in my early teens to mid-teens, just before I figured out I was trans. And even when I was younger, like when I was a kid, actually when I was really young, they all just assumed I was a boy. Everybody assumed I was a boy. And I was like, yeah, thank you, you assumed correctly. But when I got a bit older, I got asked this so much. I got asked this on the bus once on my way home, and I just didn't know what to say. It was just before I kind of figured things out. I was having a lot of feelings, and this kid was just like, excuse me, are you a boy or a girl? I don't even remember what I did. I don't think I replied though. I was like, So what are the options? A, haha, you're joking, right? B, I'm not a girl. C, I am a boy. D, I'm clearly cis. I feel like saying I'm clearly cis really would not answer the question and would probably indicate the total opposite. But yeah, awkward question. I think there's definitely a missing option of just staring blankly. Accepting myself as trans and coming out to my parents? Oh, we're not doing that? What are we surprising ourselves by doing? Outing myself by sleep talk. You're kidding. Outing yourself by sleep talking. No. Okay, that's awkward. How did that go? I'd be so curious. Was it on one of those apps where it records whenever you speak and then people actually end up just recording themselves farting a bunch throughout the night? Hilarious. This less so. I hope it went well. You have pressed the button. 53% of people pressed this button while 47% did not. So what is the button? You get true immortality, stop aging, and you will never again be sick in your life. But you have to live as a member of the opposite sex. Assuming you fit into the gender binary, your gender identity and sexual preferences are not changed. Isn't this just the perfect button for trans people? So you have to live as a member of the opposite sex, I'm assuming, to your assigned sex. Okay. What? And then I'm immortal and I never get sick and I never age? Great. Sure. I will press that button. I will be in that 53% who pressed the button. Oh, support feminine trans boys and masculine trans girls. Yes, we should support trans people of any gender expression, particular focus on feminine trans boys and masculine trans girls, because so often gender nonconformity is used as a weapon to invalidate trans people's gender, when in reality our gender identity and our gender expression are not linked. Typically, a lot of people follow the pattern of their gender identity lining up at least somewhat with their gender expression, but not everybody does, and that's totally okay. Should I just crack at this point? Maybe. That is both aesthetically not pleasing and aesthetically pleasing, and I don't know how I feel about it, but go you. Me, a so-called cis ally, after realizing that cis men do not want to be girls. I think that is a very uncommon thing that cis men want. And I found this cute little cartoon and I was trying to find who it was by. If I ever come across artwork and I can find the artist, I will include, but I couldn't find an @ or anything for this one. So if anybody has it, please share it. I'll keep an eye out and I'll put it more prominently. But I just thought this was really cute. It's not necessarily egg specific, but archaeologists will know you were trans. People assume bones can tell your gender. I just love the idea of a bone wearing a tie. But archaeologists need to take into consideration multiple factors such as the cultural circumstances, the type of burial, or even accessories. This is very true. DNA testing can only tell your chromosomes sometimes. A bone in a test tube? And that's not a good indicator of gender either. Google why they stopped DNA testing in the Olympics to know why. The archaeologist 200 years into the future will know your name. They might notice if you had breast implants or any surgery in your jaw. They may also notice if you have testicular implants. They might know you were trans, or they might never know your gender at all. But they will for sure know you were loved. And those who live to hate others will rot in their forgotten tombs nameless for eternity. Love and be loved, and you might never be forgotten. I just thought it was cute. cute. And I was like, hey, we're focusing on the wrong things here when we should maybe just be nice to each other and realize that what happens in 200 years, people might never know and you're not gonna know. But what we should do whilst we're alive is treat others with love and compassion and make sure that we are remembered fondly and not leave behind a legacy of hatred. Types of headaches: migraine, hypertension, stress. Seeing someone my age who's already transitioned. Totally cis to be jealous. Oh yeah. It just gives me all over neck and head pain. It even radiates into my lips and my nose, but I'm still cis. The jealousy is painful, but I'm not trans. Yeah. Honestly, I think any age, unless you were one of the very few trans people who was able to access puberty blockers and transition in childhood and start your transition in childhood, I think this is something that a lot of people feel, particularly in the early days of their transition. It's like you can be 18 and see a fellow 18-year-old already on testosterone and it's like, ow. Like there's, you know, and feel jealousy and envy. And you can feel that if you come out and start transitioning at 40 or 50 or 60. But the most important thing to remember is it's never too late. And today is the best day to start that journey, because you can't go back in time and start it 10, 20 years ago, but you can start it now and have a lot of time left ahead of you to be your true self, and you deserve as much time as possible to be you. And now here's some painkillers. All right, Pride Month is over. Get your ass back in. Don't go back in the closet. I mean, for safety reasons, if you need to, then obviously. But the closet. I feel like this again is highlighting another reason why Pride is so important, because often Pride events and other types of LGBT plus friendly events and spaces are the only times and places where some people can be their true selves, and it's so important for them to exist and for people to be able to attend and be in these spaces and be surrounded by other people and be able to be themselves. Yeah, that's what I have to say on that. Attention, totally cis guys. If you don't like wearing your towel like this, then you should try this. Yeah, I feel it in reverse as a trans guy. It's something that's very difficult to do pre-top surgery. It's almost like wearing the towel up here, knowing why, is as uncomfortable as wearing it around your waist and then not covering something that makes you uncomfortable. Both scenarios are uncomfortable. Post-top surgery though, it did take me a few showers to not automatically go under the armpits with the towel. I would do it and I'd be like, hold on a second, and then I'd wiggle it down, and it was very good feeling. But yeah, to all you cis guys out there, put that towel under your armpits. 2010, playing video games on the PS3. That's old now. Yeah. 2024, grown up playing on a computer. Aww, the one in the cap, I feel like transitioned. That's cute. Will you press the button? Will you press the button? I don't know why I got so excited about this button. Every trans person gets their ideal body, but you forget you were ever trans. Wow. Okay, right. I feel like it's not a difficult decision to say I would press the button, because every trans person being comfortable in their own body and all I have to do is press a button and forget I'm trans. Sure, that is a worthy price to pay. Forgetting I'm trans would be so interesting. It's not the biggest thing about me. It's not my entire personality. It is still something that occasionally comes up in my life in a negative way, personally, just like generally in terms of like dysphoria and a couple other personal things, but also then like politically and socially, and just how I feel in terms of like rights and safety and everything as a trans person can be quite worrying sometimes. And I'm saying that as a trans person in a quite a privileged position, and I totally recognize that. So there are like negatives of being trans still very much prevalent in my life, but not as much as they used to be. And honestly, 99% of it is from people being transphobic for no good reason. There is no reason to be transphobic, and if people just stop that, oh my god, trans people would be so much happier. Jeez, please, come on. Forgetting I was trans though is a really interesting concept, because I think although it's not the biggest thing about me, it's definitely shaped my life quite a lot and shaped the person I am. And I do quite like the person I am, and I think it's helped me grow as a person in many ways and learn a lot about myself and about other people. Yeah, I feel like I would be a very different person if I completely erased my whole journey as a trans person and everything I've learned and gone through. That'd be a really interesting concept. But I'd still press the button, because, you know, making every trans person in the world world comfortable would be, yeah, let's do that. My trans friend is sending me trans memes. Does she know? Do you know? What's going on? Maybe she does know. Hello, people. What was your "oh wait, I'm trans" moment? Let's have a little chat in the comments. Can everybody, if people are comfortable sharing, please go share and have a chat with other people about what was your moment of realizing that you're trans. For me, it was like 2 distinct times in my life tied together, and then just loads of little bits in between, like the little the sadness from Inside Out with all the trans memories. So the real pivotal moment where I was like, oh wait, I'm trans, was when I watched a documentary at 16, and it just fully resonated with me and how I'd been feeling all my life, and I genuinely finally felt like I had the language to describe how I had felt my entire life. And the first thing I thought of when I figured that out was this memory of when I was 4 years old, and I just thought I was like any other boy. I didn't think of the social, physical, any kind of differences. I wasn't aware of it. I wasn't aware of like pronouns and things like that. I just thought I was one of the lads, you know? And that was the first thing I thought of, because I was like, oh wow, that 4-year-old that felt that way and then got older and got more and more confused about why I was told that was wrong and why I felt like I had to suppress that feeling, now understood that I don't need to like hide that anymore, and that was the real me all along. And I wasn't wrong. I was a very clued in 4-year-old. I just wasn't totally the same as a cis boy. There are obviously some differences, but I am and always have been a boy, and that documentary really made me realize that. When your self-proclaimed phobe cousin supports you more than your mum. Huh? It's the sneaky phobes that are the worst. They're people that you think might be accepting or have not given you any indication they wouldn't be, and then suddenly they're not. And then a self-proclaimed phobe cousin offering support. Very interesting. Well, I hope whoever made this meme gets support from somewhere, because you deserve it. According to my calculations, beep beep boop 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 boop, you're trans. My therapist, after I came out to her as trans, this was my first session with her. I accept you for who you are. Oh, yay! But I just want you to remember that God created you, and unless that sentence carried on, and that means he made you trans, and that's okay, then that sentence is not good, and this person should very much not be a therapist. You ever just think, God, I wish I was allowed to be trans? I'm not trans, by the way. Just a random thought. Yes, just a random thought. Just a very, very cis thought of you. How cis? Could be. And that's it for all the little eggles today. What do we think of the video? If you'd like to think about giving a thumbs up and subscribing, go drop a comment down below if you want to. Also, please do go click that link and show Squarespace some love. And if you can think of any other jobs that you might want to see me try out when the beekeeping inevitably comes to an end, I don't know why it might come to an end, but I'm sure there'll be a reason, then also go leave that in a comment down below. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Much love. Bye.